Let's see who shows up. It's Saturday morning, so there might not be a lot of people. I'm gonna wait till a few people show up. I took down the notes and wrote it down because so many people have been asking questions and people have been misanswering questions incorrectly, misinformed answers. Who's that? Who just showed up? Hey, Zach. Hey, I haven't been ignoring you. I've just, no joke, I just been busy. Zach, it's been busy because as much as I said I wasn't involved in this, I have been doing a lot of trying to get a hold of vendors, talking to people, getting the knife released places where I was hoping, you know, places that I wanted that are, you know, different than just Blade HQ. The more diversity in that, the more places it's available. But since there's like 6 of you, I'll go ahead and start. So you guys know I released the, I haven't even started it yet. I spent all night the night before last dealing with a company in Europe, trying to get them to offer and giving them information about the knife and stuff like that. My beard is ginger. It's just turning gray. It used to be black here and ginger as fuck here. And then it started to finally blend in. Yeah, I have the black patch here and here. And it's turning gray. So anyway, so you guys know that the Hornet got changed to the Stonefish. I don't have gray hair here so much, but I've got some gray in my beard. And the light too is causing some. Anyway, so you guys know that it got released. So there's been some people who have been answering questions on Instagram on the posts that are not me and are not We Knife, and they're putting out some information that's not right. So they were saying this is S35VN. It's not. So this is 20 CV at 59 to 60 Rockwell. The handles are G10, not micarta. They're G10. They don't do micarta in China. G10 scales with titanium hardware. The blade is 4.46 inches. 4.46 inches. Why isn't it 5? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's based on my custom knife, and I never measured a fucking thing. I just started making the knife, and I just stopped when I thought it was a comfortable length. 4.46 inches. Overall length is 9.23. There's some weirdness in the measurements because when I make a knife, do not measure anything. Yes, sis, you came up with the name for the knife. It's a whole family deal. It wasn't preferential treatment that my sister got to name it the Stonefish. It just was the best name I'd gotten so far that was not already taken. So, like I said, when I made the knife, I made it till it was comfortable. I worked on the handles and I stopped when it was comfortable. And then I did the same thing with the blade length. So you get some weird, it's not gonna be exactly like 9.5 or 5 inches or 4.5 inches. It's based on my custom design, which was, I drew that fucking thing out on a piece of metal and I cut it out, and then I saw if it was comfortable, and before I cut the blade out, I did the stuff. So, no, not poisonous, venomous. They have a little switchblade that pops up and they envenomate you. The difference between poison and venom is poison can be ingested and it affects you. Usually venom does not. It has to be introduced directly into the bloodstream. So that's why venomous creatures inject poisonous creatures. They're poisonous creatures. There is a poisonous dart frog. It doesn't really have venom. It has poison on its skin, the dart frog. If you were to lick that, you would get sick. There's the difference. If it bites you and you get sick, it's venomous. If you bite it and you get sick, it's poisonous. That's how I always remembered it. But yes, it is. It's a venomous creature. But then again, so is the fucking platypus. I seriously was thinking about calling it platypus. So anyway, I wasn't picking. Zach, I like to, when things happen, anyway, people have been saying stuff about it. They were saying that handles were micarta. They are not. They are G10 with titanium hardware. The thickness is 0.16 inches, 4 millimeters. The difference in my blade stock that I use for custom knives and this, you can absolutely see that 1 millimeter difference. So we had to make the reason it took so long was we had to get the handles changed because you grab the prototype. The prototype was a total, yeah, it's pretty sharp from the factory. The prototype was a total 2 millimeters narrower across the handle. So I thought we had it figured out when we first started, and then they sent me these. I was like, those handles are too thin, and then I realized that they forgot to take the other 2 millimeters and add it to the handles. So we had to just go back and say, and I didn't like the carbon fiber handles. They were too slick. It's too narrow across the back. It feels at a weird angle. This one doesn't. This is not just a sharpening choil. That is a full finger choil for up close, deep work. And it was made to fit my rather abundant finger material. So, I'm trying, guys. I'm fucking trying. I'm trying. I don't know what else to do. At this point, I'm at a loss. I just switched between 3 different of my things. So I'm back. But like I said, so Steel 1-Up 20 CV, it is a stone wash finish. It's a very fine stone wash. That is a finger choil, not just a sharpening notch for you to get up tight and close on it. 90-degree spine? No. The spine is, it comes down, it is not completely flat. It has some chamfers. Can you see it? It is the first WE knife in 20 CV, hopefully not the last. I love 20 CV. M390, 20 CV, they're both great. 20 CV takes as much as they're very much the same. 20 CV takes a little bit different of an edge, ever so slightly different. What I could do to mitigate this is I could take you guys in the living room and switch to that. If you give me a moment and don't just bail on me, I will take you guys in the living room and I will get on the other Wi-Fi network, the one that is really fast. The kitchen has got interference. There's electrical interference coming from somewhere in that kitchen. So, let's see. Give me just a second so I can switch to the other network. Oh, come on now. There we go. Everything about YouTube lately has just been shit. It really has been bad. Let me put you here. So, like I said, is it still screwed up? It's fine now? Okay. Yeah, so yeah, first knife they've done in 20 CV. There are 3 different models. There is a black, there is a tan, and there is a green. And I like the green. So before anybody asks, I am sending one of them around before one of them ever becomes a giveaway or anything like that. They are going to go around for a pass around. Blade Bander and I were talking about, Dave and I were talking about that. I'm gonna send him one. One of them is going to Jim Skelton, but before I send one to Dave, it's gotta go to Knife Nuts Podcast, Levon. I'm shipping one to Levon and I'm shipping one to Jim Skelton. Levon's probably gonna get the green one and Jim is gonna get the tan one because he says that's gonna work for his videos. Once those come back from them, the one that's with Levon will probably go to Dave. Well, whichever one comes back first. So one of them will go to Dave over at Blade Banner, and then there's one more person that was gonna get them. Autograph it. I honestly am thinking about getting someone to laser a couple of them with release date, first knife, run, whatever. If I can afford, it depends on how much money I make on this. If I can afford to do it, I'll get a couple and I'm gonna just do them. This one I wanna get because I'm keeping this one and probably the green or the tan one. I haven't decided, I'm keeping one more. One of them will be a giveaway. But one of them, I'm going to get USN, the United States Navy, with the logo lasered on one side, and then my rating badge as a gunner's mate on the other one, my crossed cannons. Yeah, still that dedicated to what I did when I was in the Navy. I loved that job. You couldn't drag me away from that place. Cross cannons. This might wind up being what is engraved on the opposite side of this blade. So, yeah, I designed it like a sub-hilt fighter. You've got that finger guard and then a grip forward. That's kind of, it's reminiscent of a sub-hilt fighter. The jimping is large here and here. It's not overly aggressive, but it definitely lets you know that you've got a good solid grip. You're not gonna push up past that. That's good, solid field jimping. Not some of the stuff like you see the really fine ones, which I like, in a pocket knife. But in something like this, where I don't want to go any further forward than that, I want to have a good solid purchase on that thumb ramp, good, deep, bitey, leave marks kind of jimping. Same back here, so that I can get a good solid thumb purchase and use it for my initials, my logos on it, MJE Designs. So there's that. What else about it? It does not have the thicker material at the tip like the custom versions. And the grind is a little further back than the customs. But, why, thank you, sir. Proper etiquette at this point would be to find out how you feel about what pronoun we should use. I was talking to my sister about this. I have a friend that actually lost his job, or rather quit his job at a company because they mandated, I think he said there was like 37 or 42 different pronouns that were to be used for possibly gender fluid and things like that. And he's like, he got a reprimand and lost 2 days pay because they didn't even give him a warning because he apparently misgendered a coworker because he's like, it was a fucking guy. It's guy. I've known that it's a guy. I know the guy. And now all of a sudden I got a warning because all these years that I've called him, you know, he's a dude, he fucking locker room, he's a guy. And somebody complained about it. So if I say guys or anything like that, I'm not doing a folding knife. I don't have the time to sit down and design a folding knife. There's a lot of stuff, which you guys don't see. There's a lot of stuff that is so hard to do on a fucking folding knife. Ask Eric Kramer. Eric Kramer, Kramer Knives, he's not making folders. He made folders for a while. He's not making them. Fixed blade knives are so much more simple. And the fact is, these days, unless you get a full custom, there's not a lot of nice fixed blades, really. Cold Steel makes a few nice ones, but I mean, like if you want something that's not one of their over-the-top stab through a fucking car door or fucking destroy a fucking engine head video knives that you get that are over the top, and a lot of times, as much as I like Cold Steel, some other fixed blade knives are not real useful. They fall into, like I said, about traditional combat knives. This is not a traditional combat knife. It was designed to be both camp knife and combat knife. So you know you could carry that as a combat knife, but the fact is you could also carry it to go hunting. So as far as where they're available, I know they're available at Blade HQ. I managed to get them available at a place in Russia. That was interesting, having to do a bunch of emails with using Google Translate. I imagine that it was every bit as bad on my end going to them as it was coming back to me, because their Google Translate does not pick up on the nuances of any language. So using Google Translate to send an email to Russia. Yeah, I told you if you call him, he's a great guy. He'll talk to you. He'll talk your ear off. Give me if he has time. Aaron is also the other thing. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I know you have a friend that's a professor that speaks Russian, and I didn't even think about it. So, yeah, they're going to offer him a Russia. They have all the specs up, and so finally, I don't know if this is. Don't quote me on this, okay? I don't know if this is exactly how Blade HQ does it, but if you want one of these, I have a friend that, and it's not. They work at a different knife vendor. They actually do more than just knives. They do a lot of just gear, but they also have knives. And so when an item comes out, they put up the thing that either says pre-order it now. Oh, yeah, the Russians, that was interesting, dealing with them in Google Translate. Anyway, so he said the way it works for them on their outdoor supply page is if they put it up as a pre-order, then you can just order it and then it'll come. But if they're putting it up because they're not sure how many to purchase, I gotcha. If they're not putting up for purchase, like a pre-order, they do the thing where like email me, and then they can kind of get an idea of how many they should order. And so he said that he's seen stuff where people are like, oh, I'll just wait when it drops, and then it sells out. The Atom, you can ask Ashton. He got one, but that entire run of knives on Blade HQ sold out in 30 seconds. 30 seconds, they were all gone. So I don't know how many Blade HQ is planning on ordering, but like I said, if you are interested in one, it would be just a good idea to hit that little I don't know if that's how it works with Blade HQ. No, but here's the thing, like, could I make this into a folder? Yeah, but that's not what it was for. This was to be a fix. All the knives that I've designed have been fixed blades because I've come to realize, like Elliot did the Lackey, there definitely is a gap in good production folding knives and fixed blades. He did the Lackey, that little neck knife, which I'm gonna do a video about. I got Charles Anderson's here, I've already sharpened them, but I'm gonna do a video about the Lackey. It's a great little knife. A fixed blade knife is definitely more reliable. What do I have to worry about warranty on a knife like this? What am I gonna do to this? I'm not gonna break the lock bar. It's a solid single piece of steel with handles on it. So I have two other designs. One of them, Elliot and I have talked a bunch of times about how we're gonna get the Scorpion released. And then I have, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you click it that you want to get an email, that's kind of how they project. If they're doing it the same way that the other place that I talked to a guy I know, he works there, and that's how they do the ordering. When an item comes up, like to order, it's coming soon, that little email button, that they get a tally of how many people. Yeah, well, I took a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, I did not, this handle, I came up with a lot of, I knew what I wanted in this handle. The elements of it were elements that I found with other knives. That palm swell, where it dips down, and then so you've got a thinner area here than you do here, where it just fills your hand. Multiple finger holes, which, if done correctly, do not feel uncomfortable. But that allows me to have, took this from Cold Steel's book, because I can't lie, Lynn Thompson does do a lot of martial arts, and he does a lot of knife fighting. Yeah, you could, easily. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable because it's got so much purchase and it's just in hand. So Lynn Thompson talks about some of the handles that they make that allow you to get further back and get yourself a little distance for a snap cut. Now, if you're fighting with a knife, that might be something you want. So basically, I've extended that 4-inch blade, that 4.5-inch blade, to about a 7-inch blade. because now I can reach out and I still have a really good purchase. Now I can get my finger up in there. I can snap cut and stay further back. That's what I was thinking with this area right here. Quick snap cut, get yourself some distance, then you can get a more, and I wouldn't even say more secure, it's still a real secure grip. So there's a lot of things that got thought and put into it. But the thing is, like I said, growing up in the country, I understand that a knife that's about 4 or 5 inches is about the best you're gonna get, because anything more than that, it starts to feel unwieldy. You've got too much out. You can't do any detail work with something that large. This, I can get all the way up like this, get my hand in that ramp, and I can do some really super fine detail work. I can get like this, I can do some more fine detail work. I can get like this and do some heavy pull cutting, and then it's quick, it's maneuverable, it's light, but still it's 4 millimeters of 20 CV with a full flat grind. You're gonna be able to, it's robust enough to do a lot of the stuff you would ever want to do in a campsite. Guys, I'm tired. I haven't slept in like 2 days, but I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday. I really did. Even though I knew it was Friday yesterday, I don't know. I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday. I had so much stuff I was gonna do, and I was gonna go to the bank, and I'm not doing it today. So what I'm doing today is I do have those couple knives left. Mainly, I had one come in yesterday, and I have the XMF. I don't know. Is that a knife or is that a steel? There's so many knives with so many different nomenclatures. I had somebody complain. They're like, the angle of your shot, I don't like looking. I was like, well, here's the thing. There's a lot of times I do these live feeds. You guys are currently sitting on a footstool in front of my couch. Yeah, I have. I actually sharpened Hinderer Tonto. That's a lot like it looks a lot like the K-Bar TDI, but it's got a longer blade in it, and it's a Tonto. I think it's made by K-Bar as well. I think that's a K-Bar collaboration with Hinderer. I can't remember. I know the TDI. Well, hang on a second. I'll get it. It's right out here. That's another little fixed blade. This is a fixed blade that gets a lot of carry because I just carry it strong side so that I can just grab it, but it doesn't get as much carry now that I have to cramp it. I didn't think I would like to cramp it, and I don't know why, because I love this. This is a single purpose tool. This is not a, that's not a knife you carry for EDC. That's just a, fucking Nico nailed it with that. He's doing the grips for my, my SIG. I gave him a set of the grips for my SIG, and I'm putting this same pattern. He's doing it for me. So I'm gonna have a SIG Sauer where the grips look like this. Fucking awesome. The little dude is great. That little dude is so good at what he does. Let me set that. There we go. So good at what he does. He really is. Like you see people that do hydrographics, and it just never looks good. I've seen stuff that Nico did, and I didn't realize he did it. I was like, oh man, where'd you get that? He goes, oh, I just bought this and then I hydrographed it. And I was like, what the fuck? I watched his dad do a bumper, hydrographic the entire, no, it was a dash. It was a dash. And they only had one little flaw, and they were able to come back and fix it. I was like, it's a fucking dash for a Jeep, a metal dash. And they hydrographic the whole thing. I don't know. I am, so Ben is the guy that used to do most of their video stuff. And Ben just left Blade HQ. Sorry guys, I can't stop looking at it. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm now conflicted about how good this knife is, and I'm trying to find flaws with it. It's my design, and I'm still like conflicted about the fact that this is that good. I don't know, but you could get in touch with me because I've shipped stuff to and from Australia before. So, but yeah, I'm trying to find a flaw with it because I know I'm not a machine, but my knives came out pretty consistent and pretty standard. And so I'm like, you know, I don't want to find something wrong with it because I want this to be the best possible product. But as the guy that made the originals, I want to find something with it that I can pick just to say, I did that part better. But at this point, the only thing I can find is that like that little flat area on the scales, until you get used to it, feels a little weird. But it also provides you some grip. Hey, what's up, Michael? So, I mean, and then there's some stuff where you can see like the transitions. I can feel them, but you don't feel that on my knives because I flatten everything out on a Scotch-Brite. And so it makes me happy to feel things that I did better by hand than they did on a machine. But if I'm only gonna find those things, there's only a couple things that I can do better than that machine, and that is just because like I just Scotch-Brite the fuck out of the spines of these until I do that. I stay there and I'm fucking feeling. Now there's an intentional low spot where it comes down and then comes up. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a small transition right there. That's all I'm finding. Like the handles, Elliot put that little flat spot and that little shelf there for a reason. It allows you get more purchase on it. And at first it feels a little strange, but now that I've been carrying it since when did I do the thing? When did they get here? Thursday? Wednesday. They got here Wednesday because I wasn't gonna do a live feed and then they came, no, Thursday. So, but I can't remember either. I wanna say it was, must have been Tuesday. Because I came in from sharpening. Wednesday I went to Cerberus Knives and was there all day. Yesterday I took care of a bunch of stuff. On Blade Banter. That's what I ought to do. You know what? I'll get a hold of the guy I know. The other thing I have not approached is seeing if they want to offer this on drop. I haven't thought about that yet. But I know folks at drop, and the thing is, I'm probably going to see them here in the next week or two. I'm going to be at the Wii table. If any of you guys are going to USN, I will be probably a few places. One of them being Rat Bastard Knives table. And so if you're going to USN, he is right next to the Wii booth, which I will be spending some time there. And other than that, you'll be looking for me probably at the CRK table or hanging out with Aaron Frederick. That's probably where you're going to see me. I just got done talking to Sebastian at Borka Blades. I showed him, he hadn't seen that it got released yet, so I was talking to him. Jim Skelton is not going to be at USN, but I am sending him the tan one. I just need to, I want to sharpen it and put just for show. This edge on this is way, way finer than I typically would, but I wanted to take some pictures. And that mirror edge is striking in pictures. So this is going to be taken back down from 10,000 grit to probably right around 1,000. Between 1,000 and 3,000. That's about what I want a field knife at. Just because you never know what you're gonna have to cut. And that 1,000 grit max edge just is pretty good all around at everything. But I'm gonna take the tan one. Jim said that the tan one probably work best with his backgrounds and stuff. He doesn't know if he's gonna do a video, but he's definitely gonna post stuff up on Instagram. So, what was I saying? Okay, so Portland, Nico and I don't have our flights for Portland yet, which we need to get soon. But we are already booked for Portland. So we will be at Blade Show West. So if you're looking for me there, I will be, there's a couple places you may see me. If Andy from Nowpack is there, I'll probably be around him. If Rat Bastard has a table, I'll be around there. But once again, probably see me a couple places, Wee Booth, Mark Begg's table. Mark Begg, that's who a literal knife hand. No. I already ran a full summer special. Guys, you got a few days left of that summer special for sharpening. I just did three knives for a guy for 25 bucks. And then I did 2 for a marine drill instructor, and I just had to fix the tip on one of them. I don't think I even charged him for a tip. I just had to reprofile a tip on that Arius. But usually Ariuses I usually add, you're gonna just have to add. Because they usually have an issue at the tip. Just the tip, just for a second. Thanks, sis. I needed to cue it up. Literal knife hand, literal knife hand. Well, I did yours, but yours, yeah, I did yours. You're gonna wanna be careful, Luke. That's not cool. Not cool. I had a mouthful of coffee. That's funny because that is something that I watched Bobcat Goldthwait say at on one of his comedy specials I watched not too long ago. He had one come out here not too long ago. He came out and it was fucking amazing. Bobcat Goldthwait's last special that I saw was fucking amazing. Why, thank you, sir. I just wish we could have got that. I wish we could have got that sigil apart. That's. I don't know. Elliot's like, I don't know what the fuck they used to put this together. Maybe they used JB Weld. Who fucking knows? So maybe this thing's just fucking press fit and that's just for show. I don't know. What did I do a review of? I did a review of the Aaron Frederick the other day. I'm still. You guys have got to bear with me. With the wife being gone, everything that my wife normally does, I still have to do and still run the business. That's why you haven't seen as much as way of video. I'm getting ready to do. I got like 3 loads of laundry to need done. I have no clean underwear and 1 pair of clean socks. I have some clean ones hanging up that I did the other day. I did laundry and I hung them up to dry. But right now, in the drawers, there is no clean laundry right now. I don't have. I mean, I'm wearing clean underwear. I had 1 clean pair still in a drawer. I used the last clean pair. I'm about to do laundry today. But I haven't had time to do a video. I haven't had time to do laundry. I've been running around and doing stuff and coordinating with people about the launch and things like that. You can wear a pair of underwear twice, man. You just got to turn them wrong side out. It's like reusing a condom. How do you reuse your condom? Turn it wrong side out and shake the fuck out of it. It's brand new. Some of y'all are going to get that, and some of y'all going, I don't get it. Remember Club 5 Chances? I'm just disappointed. Okay. Are you ready for this? This is fucking hilarious. I had a kid that worked for me. He was a fucking virgin, and he went out one night, and we were out, and he met this girl, and he fucking took off. He's like, Giamona, I'm gonna take off. I'm going with this girl. I was like, hey, you ain't gotta tell me nothing, bro. I was like, but if you're paying for it, you definitely need to wrap it. And even if you're not paying for it, you definitely need to wrap it. And he goes, I don't have a condom. The fucking kid that was sitting next to me, I was like, Nick, give the kid a condom. And he fucking opens up his bag, and he's got like sailors on Liberty. I was married, so I wasn't. I was just drinking, keeping my guys out of trouble. Reaches into this bag and hands him a fucking, he's like, here, just hands him a whole handful of condoms. He's like, well, what about you? He's like, I got a whole box in here. We're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I only need one. Takes off, comes back a little bit later, and he's sitting there, and he's just like all depressed, sad. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I mean, he was gone for 2-3 hours. We were still at this outdoor bar. I think we were in Bali. No, we weren't in Bali, because Bali, I never went as first class because it was off limits. Somewhere in Indonesia. He comes like 3 hours later, comes back with this girl, and he's just got this look on his face like, fuck. And I knew that he wanted to say something, because he knew he could talk to me, but he didn't want to say anything with the guys around, because he's the junior guy, and he knew he would get fucking ridiculed. And I'm like, something fucking went wrong. Something went wrong. So the guys are like, hey, GM1, are you going to be here at the bar? Because I was at like a open-air beach bar. Just fucking drinking cocktails, fucking had my feet up. I was staying at the hotel. Called the wife a couple times from a hotel, just fucking hanging out at like the outside bar. And I was like, yeah, I'll be here. This is fucking great for me. I was like, guys, don't get in trouble. And then I looked at the senior guy that was at that group, and I was like, you don't let them get in trouble, or I will fucking murder your soul. I will butt fuck your soul. And the guy was like, okay, Jesus. And so, exactly, don't do any of the shit I told you I did when I was a junior sailor. Don't fucking do it. I will butt fuck your soul. And so they take off, and the kid's sitting there, and I was like, you know what, go with him? He's like, nah, no. Fucking, what happened? He goes, the girl had taken off. She was gonna come back. She went to go get some food, and she was gonna like stay at his, she was gonna stay with him. So apparently I was like, must not have went that bad. And he goes, GM1, he's like, I told you I was a virgin, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. That's why I didn't say anything with those guys around. And, you know, they fucking make your life miserable. He goes, I appreciate that. And he goes, I tried to put the condom on backwards. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it took me like 15 fucking minutes to figure out what I was doing wrong. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that they teach that in like sex ed. And he goes, I grew up in a Mormon house in fucking Salt Lake City. He's like, I didn't get sex education. I was like, oh my God. I was like, how bad was it? And he goes, I tried and tried and tried to put that fucking condom on until she was like, what are you doing? And I had to help him put it on. He's like, you know how fucking embarrassing that is? And I was like, nope, not at all. But I can imagine closely how bad it would be. Trying to put fucking condom on backwards. I was like, you probably still could have done it. If you just pushed and like worked that fucking thing down, it was just fucking, he's like fucking with that thing for like 15 minutes before she came over and helped him fucking put the condom on. Yeah, that was I sat there and I was trying not to laugh. I'm fucking drinking a Mai Tai and I'm like, right, just stop for a second. Give me a second. Okay. But apparently it turned out good. That girl stayed, hung out with him. Uh-oh. Then you need a flashlight. Oh, Jesus. This is why I do live feeds. So yeah, we're at the point, I gotta start doing spelunking. He was a good kid, and I didn't ever tell anyone until after I left. I never told that story to anyone because the guys that he worked with would have fucking known. And if they watch these videos, they fucking know now because they know exactly. They're like, oh, that's that day. That's that day that he came back and he looked all fucked up and weird and was unhappy and didn't go with us. And I'm like, I guarantee that if any of my fucking kids that used to work for me watch my channel, that's what they're thinking. They're like, I know what day that was. This is not a PG channel. I told a story about, no, that was on Instagram. I tell stories that I won't tell here on Instagram because you can't get demonetized. They won't shut your channel down for it. Yes, and I never curse. My friend John, you ready for this one? Here's one for you. Our friend John was when I first met him, he was a Bible thumping preacher's kid, Jesus rocks shirt, carried a Bible around, didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't womanize, didn't do any of that shit. And then later, Dwayne, then he definitely changed. I'm not gonna say who was responsible for the change, but started smoking, started drinking, screwing prostitutes, fucking, it was just bad. So we go to Russia. Ship goes to Russia. And he went out and he got shit-faced. And peer pressure, that's what killed the guy that fell in between the boat and the different kind of peer pressure. Anyway, so we go out in Russia and John gets shit-faced. And that's, okay, different spelling. John gets shit-faced, and as we were coming back to the boat, I wasn't with him, but I came back at the same time, and I saw it happen. Comes across the quarterdeck and starts taking off his clothes and just throwing them. And he's in his uniform, and his dress blues. And by the time he gets down to the berthing, he's in his socks. And we're carrying all his clothes, and he hops into his bunk, and he passes out with his bare naked ass sticking right up against these curtains. And I was like, this is great. This is amazing. Let's hide his clothes. So he took all of his dirty clothes, hid them, took his clothes that he wore and hid them, and then took tape and put it on his lock until his lock was like this big. And then we drew a smiley face on his butt, 2 eyes, and then the butt being the fucking mouth. And we took his video camera that he had and had left unattended, and we took a video of his ass framed in by his curtains on his bunk, and then took pencils and went, hi, moving his butt cheeks. Hi, my name's John. I got real drunk. One of the guys sent that videotape to his mother. That went over like a fart in church. He wouldn't talk to any of us for a while. You guys are fucking assholes. I'm like, you fucking already knew that. I mean, why does this surprise you? Why the fuck are you surprised that that happened? You know the people you hang out with. We are the fucking dregs of society. Yes. So guys, that's everything I know about the Hornet. Or I'm sorry, the Stonefish, and a couple things I know about 2 incidents that happened to buddies of mine while we were drinking. That's the end of the video. I have a lot of stuff to do. You guys, the knives that showed up, I know that, sir, you told me about the weird up. You told me about the CRK. I got your email or your message. I don't remember which it was. And I just haven't had time to even start on sharpening stuff. I have got so many things that I have got to get buttoned up and finished before the wife gets home. I have been doing some home renovation stuff. I fixed hinges on cupboard doors. I fixed rolling door for the yard. I fixed the shower door downstairs. I refinished the tub. So, you know, it's stuff that needed to happen. And since business has not been great, I've maximized the use of my time. Summer special runs until the 21st. So you've got, what is that? 4 more days if you want to lock in pricing and things like that. And I'm not, and that's why I'm doing it now. It's because I have not been being a good husband. And I have got to fix, the wife's car is leaking oil and I fucking can't figure out where. Yeah, my brother-in-law, and that's the other thing. I've been worried. As much as I pick on my brother-in-law, I don't like the idea of him being in the adult bounce house wearing an I Love Me jacket for longer than he has to. But he was in real bad shape. He's bipolar. He had an event. He went manic, and it was better for him to be there than to be at home. Guys, there's 14 people and only 6 likes. Just remember, that's how we get these videos shared. Not begging for likes, but if you like the videos, please just drop a like, because that's how we get the videos shared. And I will give an update about the hater when it happens. I have information for the police department now. I found some information for the police department for the hater. I'm gonna give him a little haterade. So hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, pet Cayenne for you. Cayenne, come here. Come here, babe. Cayenne. Hey. She's looking out the window. The neighbor dog just walked by. She shot through and she's got her head in the window in the bedroom. So, yeah, wife and kid get back on the 21st. Don't expect to see very many videos in that time frame. I guarantee I'm gonna have stuff that the wife is gonna wanna have to do. We are gonna have to. I went shopping for groceries once, and that was 2 days ago. In the entire month, I have been eating just what we had stockpiled, all the stuff that we had in the freezer. I have not bought any groceries except for a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk. That's all I have purchased in the way of food. I'm not gonna lie, I did eat from restaurants twice while she was gone. But other than that, I've been cooking my own meals, things like that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that pasta again that I did the other day, which is just the pasta, a lot of garlic, olive oil, red pepper flakes, a little bit of bacon, and a little bit of chopped onion. And then some parsley and stuff on that. So, well, I mean, I made sure before we left, my wife and I talked about stuff that I wanted to have, things that I needed, and I just needed milk. And I realized that I didn't have bread. I made sloppy joes last night, my sister's recipe. It's just ground beef, onions, garlic, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and you just maybe thicken it with some tomato paste. Mine came out a little sweeter than I wanted it, but it still came out good. Made homemade sloppy joes since I had bread. Let's see. Yeah, I am gonna try and do the video about this today while I'm doing laundry and things like that, but I also have to put the upstairs bathtub back together now that I can use it. I bought a new shower head. The wife was complaining about the shower head for a while. I bought a new shower head to go on the hose. Let's see what else. Yeah, it's just been busy. So it's not that I don't want to do videos. It's not that I don't like hanging out with you guys, and it's definitely not that I don't want to sharpen knives for you. It's just that there are things that I have to prioritize. Yeah, that's the thing, Steve. It's going to take a little bit of time. That's going to take a lot of reprofiling. I may do a cooking stream. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. So, and let me know, guys, if there's other stuff you want to see. Like, I enjoyed going up to Cerberus Knives. Those guys are great. I like Christian and Darren. They're great. They got a good head on their shoulders. They got a good plan as to how they're going to accomplish it. They're doing things right. That's not a guarantee of success. I'm doing a lot of things right, and it's slow coming. It's slow coming, but you know, we haven't lost the house. I've made the mortgage, at least the mortgage every month. So, and I've got money stashed somewhere for things. Can you give me their information? Because if you just send it, just use my email that is in the, use the email that is in the description below after this ends. It's got my email address in it. Just give me the information and I'll Google them later, because if you don't, I'll forget. So There's that. I talked about USN. I'm just trying to talk about USN, talked about Blade H or Blade Center, talked about where the knives are going. Guys asking me about, like, I cannot ceramic. Oh, that's the thing. I've had a few people go in and say, oh, if you want an all black, the designer can do it for you aftermarket. I cannot do a blade this big. I did one and it came out horrible because I had to do I stopped the ceramic here and then I stripped the spine so you couldn't see. I only did this much and then the spine was stripped and I did a two-tone. It was not the best. It was not the best, and I never did another one. I did do a tiger pattern on one, a tiger stripe pattern on one. That's something I would think about doing, but then I'd have to re-stone wash it. If I can get a guy to do lasers, I mean, I'd have to charge you, but I mean, I'm sure I could send stuff off to Prince done at Prince Customs and find out what he charges. But that would be something where I would prefer to have a few of them because single part processing on stuff is always more expensive than getting a bunch of stuff done. So that's it, guys. Just an update. I know I didn't do a live feed. I did the live feed on Tuesday, and I got laundry in. I'm not working on anything. I'm getting ready to sweep and mop and just start cleaning up. And generally, I have a tendency to clutter things. It's not, the house is not dirty, it's just cluttered. I'll just pick something up and I'll set it down and I'll walk away from it. My dad did it too. So that's it, guys. I know I said 5 minutes ago I was done, but I'm out. Put this back in its sheath. Yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Look for this video to maybe go up today or tomorrow. So, and I will do a sharpening video. I will do an actual sharpening video. They're harder to film. And then Luke, I've got your address. I'll pack your knives up. I want to strop them a couple more times just to draw it out as thin as I can, but I know that when you do it, you got to let it rest a little bit because SM100 acts like it work hardens like that and then relaxes, and then it's weird. So I want to strop them a couple more times. So I'll send them Monday or Tuesday, but you'll have them by the end of next week. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys, take it easy. I might do an Instagram feed later if I get bored, so I'll talk to y'all later. Yeah, they come with the sheath. It's in the box. Go watch the unboxing that I did. I did a live unboxing when they showed up. I think that was Tuesday, so it's still towards the top of my feed. Guys, I'm out. I got stuff to do. I'll talk to you later. Look at the size of my finger.